And I want to tell you a wonderful story. Just after September 11th, about 6 months later, in the winter of 2002, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. I just gave a speech. I'm about to catch an airplane to give another one, and I'm late. It's an icy, snowy day. I get there just in time to be the last one to get on the plane. I sit down. I no sooner have put my bag under the seat that the woman next to me, who has not even introduced herself to me, turns to me and says, "My boss is such an idiot." I said, "Excuse me?" She said, "My boss is such an idiot. He's sending me up to this godforsaken place. They never buy anything. They never will buy anything. My boss is such an idiot." Now, the guy across the aisle overhears her and says, "Lady, not only is your boss an idiot," he said, "but the people who run this airline are idiots." He said, "Look at this, no leg room." He said, "They lost my bag last week." He said, "We're late as always." He said, "Look at the ice on these wings. We're going to die on this thing." I'm literally surrounded by a feast of negativity. It's literally surrounded by negative people. And finally, mercifully, we take off. The ice blows off the wings. We take off, and the feast continues. I don't know about you. Any of you ever had this experience? You come to Walmart on Monday morning. You're ready to be the positive virus, and you got a few people around you who are negative, and suddenly you find you catch it, right? I mean, I'm a pretty positive guy, but about 15 minutes into the flight, I'm calling my boss an idiot, and I work for myself, right? Now, it finally reaches the height of negativity when in those days they were still serving something on airplanes. They brought this kind of wrapped up Subway sandwich, wrapped up in cellophane, and they put it on our trays. And the airline is run by idiots guy actually opened it up, and he sniffed it. He sniffed the meat, and he rang his flight attendant button, and she came back, and he held it up. He said, "Miss, this is a bad sandwich." And I love what she did, because she'd obviously had enough of all of us. She took it in her hand and said, "Bad sandwich, bad sandwich." And she put it back on his tray and left. That's it. So you got the mood, right? It's like, it's horrible. Now, about 5 rows in front of us at the bulkhead, there's a little boy about 2 years old. And you know how little kids on airplanes love to stand on their parents' lap and look over the seat, right, so they can see everybody? Well, all during the first half hour or so of the flight, he's trying to do that, but he can't quite do it. A couple times I saw his hair. I even saw his eyebrows a couple times, but never his face. He was like a little jack-in-the-box kind of going like this. And then, sure enough, about 30 minutes into the flight, he finally gets his head above the seat, and he rests his chin there, almost like a little chipmunk. And it's almost like he didn't realize we were all on the plane with him, because as soon as he saw us, he just smiled. And I'm not exaggerating, within 1 minute, he transformed the 5 rows behind him. The airline is run by idiots. Guy was going like this, trying to get him to smile again. My boss is an idiot lady, turned to me and said, "You got kids?" "Yeah, 3. "How many you got?" 2. "How old are they?" She said, "We should be a little more positive like that kid. Why don't you go get him?" "Go get him." So I went up to his mother and said, "Could we borrow him for a while?" She said, "Sure, go for it," right? "It's all yours. 2 years old, it's all yours." I bring him down, he's dancing in the aisles for us, we're all having fun. Now, it was such a simple thing, but a light bulb went off in my head. Most of us only influence about 5 rows around us, if you really think about it. Most of us only influence about 5 rows. But in that 5 rows, we have tremendous influence.